Hello everybody, I'm Alfred and you're listening to Alfred's Daily Q&A live stream podcast. I would like to talk about sound and music distribution. For those of you who do not know, sound on is basically the DistroKid or Twinkle service from TikTok. And unlike DistroKid, which charges a fee, and TuneCore and CD Baby and the rest that charges a fee, SoundOn is free. It doesn't charge you a fee. However, it takes 10% of royalties from its deliveries to non-TikTok platforms. And that is after 1 year. So after 1 year, you get 90% royalties from other platforms. Now, people need to understand business. So I'm going to talk about music distribution in general and different opportunities. People need to understand these things. I'll be mentioning names of several companies that are important to what I have to say, and I've done something with what I've used in the past, addressing their pros and cons. Now, you have to understand something. Everybody would like to have the most money possible. An artist will want to collect the most money possible. So the idea of giving 10% to a company is not attractive to an artist. So you ask yourself, what kind of artist wouldn't mind giving away 10%? It's only the artist that doesn't have the money to pay the DistroKid fee. The artist that doesn't have the money to pay the TuneCore fee, that will go for a free option like SoundOn and be giving away 10% royalties. Remember, as I said, everybody wants to keep as much money as possible. Everybody wants to get as much money as possible. So you are understanding the market. Therefore, that artist that does not have the money to pay for the DistroKid, I'm in Nigeria right now. So DistroKid, let me do a quick analysis of the price. When you convert the money to Naira for the 3 option plans, it is not small money for someone in Nigeria. You see, for the musician plan, the simple musician plan, where you will not be able to change the name of the record label, so it will be DistroKid, distributed by DistroKid, whatever. That one is 38,999 naira. So that's basically 39,000 naira. And that is not the option to go with me, because I've previously used Musician Plus. I can't downgrade. DistroKid does not support downgrading. So the plan that I was on is, of course, because of the inflation and the dollar to naira, things changed. So the price is now basically 70,000 naira. To be more accurately, what is here is 69,999 naira. So that is just 1 naira short of 70,000 naira. So that's 70,000 naira. And then the ultimate DistroKid plan is basically 150,000 naira. That's just $1 short of 150,000 naira, because what it says 149,999 naira. So that's just 150,000 naira. That was rent back in the day. That is a full year's rent back in the day, 150,000 naira. That can get you self-contained in several parts of Nigeria, just 2 years back. And perhaps maybe some places now, 150 can still get you an apartment. So that's how expensive it is to Nigeria, you know. So when you're analyzing this thing, it doesn't even matter whether the person is in Nigeria or not, whatever country that person is from. The person that will want to use a service like Sound On and give away 10%, it's an artist that is not making that much money. So that kind of artist is not going to get more streams, because if the an artist that is getting a lot of streams will not mind paying the distro kid or the tinko and getting the full 100%, because percentages is, when the volume is larger, the percentages are very high. A fixed fee that settles things is the cheaper option. So Sound On needs to realize that its customer base, its target market, because of their structure, are those who are not even getting many streams. You're not going to get a Taylor Swift or somebody that is doing Taylor Swift numbers, or Kanye West before Kanye West went crazy, those kinds of numbers. You're not going to get them to sign on to sign on. As a matter of fact, what would be even better than distro creed is somebody that will give people 100% royalties, 100% ownership rights, and is still free. That is actually the best. And the funny thing is that is possible. You may say, how would they make their money? They can make the money if they own the platform. For example, DistroKid is owned by Spotify. If DistroKid wants to be free, they can be free if they want to be free. DistroKid can be free because the money, they are making money from your streaming. So why? It's just like YouTube. It's the same thing with YouTube. If you say that DistroKid cannot be free, then why is YouTube free? And paying out people. You upload your song to YouTube. YouTube also owns the platform that is monetizing it. So they take their cut and give you your cut. They determine, what they give you. So in the same way, say DistroKid is owned by Spotify. DistroKid and Spotify can operate as one. When you submit your song to DistroKid, it's automatically available for free on Spotify. Even if there's the option of, okay, what about other platforms? If they want to distribute it to other platforms, they can continue doing that and be hosting the files and all of that for free. And it will even give them more power. It will even give Spotify a larger percentage of the streaming market share than it already has. And there's also the option of, okay, you sign on to DistroKid, whether you pay or not, your song is available on Spotify. It's never taken down. But you now have to pay an extra fee for them to distribute it to more platforms, other people's platforms. They can follow that option. So that being said, I've made it clear that they can follow the super free option, like YouTube, and that will give them even more market share, but they don't do it, because they want money, and perhaps they have not heard what I've said and understood my reason. So they can also go the option of, well, for Spotify, you get your song on Spotify for free. When you upload, we never take it down, only you can take it down. So whether or not, but we still have paid options for us to offer more services to you as a musician, and also to push your songs to other platforms and even to promote songs. It's a shame that we have something like AdSense. People can see the sense of AdSense and AdWords, and when it comes to advertising, and look at, buying ads on Instagram, buying ads on Facebook, and, people see that market. That is a huge customer base. There are a lot of people that want to boost their profile. They have products to sell. They want people to see their profile and all that. That is a huge money maker for this platform. Why is there not across streaming platforms an AdWords, an AdSense situation where people can advertise their songs? where an audio clip of their song is advertised across all platforms. You pay in one place. No matter how small or how much you have, there shouldn't be a cutoff of you have to have advertising has to start at $500 or $200. No, even if you have $1, you sign on and you get access to advertise across all platforms. That is going to be more money for the streaming platforms, in addition to the money they are getting from subscriptions. So now they can even offer a free option, so their subscribers don't need to be all paid subscribers. There's also the free option that is powered by those ads that are running. That market is there. Why doesn't anybody do that? Why can't these people see that? I'm giving away a lot of free gems that should be worth billions of dollars. These companies should pay me billions of dollars for what I'm saying now. Especially what I'm about to say next, and which is about Twitter. A lot of people know that, Twitter was not making a profit when Elon Musk got it. And, now he has brought in buying of blue check mark, and he has done several things that has helped to boost his profitability. But Twitter is still not in the clear. It's not as profitable as it could be. One more thing that Twitter should add to its repertoire is music streaming. People post songs on Twitter. Why aren't they paid? You see, music posted on clips on Instagram is monetized. The artists get paid. Why don't artists get paid for when people share clips with their music on Twitter? That needs to change. And if Twitter embraces the music industry, they're going to make a lot of money. And they shouldn't do it on a corporate level of let us talk to the big guns, to the major record labels and all of that. Otherwise, those people will, force themselves in and take advantage of Twitter as they always do. Just like the record labels now basically control Spotify and make so much money off Spotify, sometimes even more than Spotify is making. Elon Musk should open the floor to the artists themselves. He should make Twitter, he should look into making Twitter, first of all, on the payment side, the same way music is monetized on Instagram or on TikTok. Elon Musk has to do that to Twitter. Music is a universal language. Music is very big. It's ridiculous. Everybody talks on Twitter. Everybody talks on X. Everybody loves to discuss. Everybody, it's a place that already has the traffic. Imagine if people were posting music and people were promoting their music. And you have to stop this thing on Twitter where you can only pay for ads if you have bought a blue check mark. Paying for ads is different. That is also a stream of income for Twitter. Remove paying for ads as one of the advantages of having a blue check mark. Whether or not people have blue check marks or not, they should be able to buy ads because you're collecting their money. So that being said, unless you want to give out blue check marks to those who buy ads for free, unless you want to work that out, and that is a different scenario, because how is that going to work? Is it they have to have if they have an active ad campaign, then they automatically get a blue check mark or whatever. But the thing is that, that is a different topic altogether. What you need to do is understand that there are several reasons why somebody may not want to buy a blue check mark or not have the money, but they have an advertising budget. And the advertising budget, it should not be restricted to there is a cutoff point of it has to be above this amount. So even if the person has $1, the person has access to spend that $1. You are collecting the person's money. So let that person be able to give you their money as a company. So that being said, advertising needs to be open for everybody and it needs to be easy to do. Very easy to do. It should be easier to advertise on Twitter as long as you know the person's payment whatever method is connected. It should be easier to advertise than it is to tweet as a business. You know, you have to see it that way. You know, you're a business. Then you have to bring in paying for streams. You know, stream music has to start being monetized. Then, like just like it is on Instagram and Twitter, we have a bigger advantage if Twitter starts monetizing music like Instagram does or tweet or TikTok does. Twitter will make more money from music streams, you know, than both. And just also the same way Twitter came out with Grok and Grok has its own app. Twitter should have its own purely music streaming app, and it should consider having a separate video streaming app, even though it is all integrated with X. But let's leave about the separate video streaming apps for several reasons. You know, there are several reasons why I think it's going to be advantageous for Twitter to have a separate video streaming app. Or if they don't want to do it, they should be able to people should be able to change their Twitter or their X app into different modes. So they could put it in video mode or TV mode or whatever mode so that it will be like it will be purely geared towards everything will be formatted for video. Just the same way you can visit a website and that same website will display things differently if you are viewing it from a desktop or from a cell phone. If you are viewing it from a cell phone, it will be responsive and and it's the shape of how it loads and or how everything sets will be set for viewership on a mobile phone. You know, and if you visit that same website on a desktop, it will be all spread out, you know, clear for desktop viewing. So you should consider that there should be different modes, and perhaps you can also um, come out with other things that would be advantageous. So because that text format, the normal format of um, Twitter does not encourage videos, does not encourage people to come on and watch videos and enjoy videos. In addition to that, when you add that video functionality, creates a situation because some of us are in Nigeria where we do not have all the mobile data in the world. So we usually, like when I get on YouTube, I decrease the video quality. I lower it. So when you lower it, you'll be able to watch more videos because now your mobile data you need it will be able to carry more watch. It is not a heavier file. It is not a file that has a larger file size that you are using with your mobile data as you're watching that video. But now as it is just it is not specified on what level of kbs you are decreasing it to. Is it less than, is it 250 kbs or 100 and something kbs? I normally leave mine around that 100 and something kbs. I take it down to the lowest, so that I can watch more videos on YouTube. Because if I leave it at 360, 360p, those kinds of things, that. Let me check something so that I'll be pronouncing things properly. I'm talking about when you view a video on YouTube, there's a gear icon. When you click it, it shows quality. Okay, and then you can change it. I normally set mine to 144p. The highest on some videos is 4K. Then there's of course the 1080p. I keep my own at 144p. So I am able to, so the file size is smaller and I can stream small. So I can stream more stuff or watch more videos. So Twitter needs to consider, doing that, you know, the video, making it, having a video mode, for those who just want to watch videos, so the same app but change, they have the option to change so that it's just pure videos, and perhaps even have another mode for pure pictures. So it's kind of like Pinterest. So you do that to compete with Pinterest. The picture mode would be to compete with Pinterest, and then the video mode would be to compete with YouTube, because everybody's already posting videos on and pictures on Twitter. So you cannot stick to just that Twitter format when the customer's mind is programmed, in a different way. So um, remember what I said about this music streaming and it being monetized. That is something that is really going to take Twitter to the stratosphere, and it will make it a must for the entire music industry. And imagine all the musicians, pushing all their fans to, tweet, to retweet their music, to post their music, to talk about their music. Then all these TikToks, rather than people making TikToks on TikToks, they'll be making TikToks on, Twitter. When you monetize music, you now give celebrities the option to um, get people to do their challenges and to share monetization, and all of that is viewed. So it becomes a must, for the music industry. If you want to market your music, you must be on Twitter. So that is going to be huge. Then in addition to that, Twitter needs to consider, becoming a music distribution platform like DistroKid. Now, it should be free. You post your music because it's already allowing people post all kinds of things. So you post your music for on Twitter, it's free, but there is an additional tier for musicians if you want it to be distributed to all the other platforms. If you want it to be distributed also to Spotify and all the other rest of the platforms. And then Twitter also manages the collection of all this money and paying the artists, because Twitter is already connected to, payments of those who are creators on Twitter, and all of that. So you already have those channels and those systems in place. So take this idea. These are ideas that are worth billions of dollars that I'm giving you for free. So, Elon Musk, you owe me, but just use the ideas. It's important that the world is made a better place. I'm not asking you for any payment for it. Just it. I will use the service myself. It's something that I would like to see, something that I would like to use. So that being said, I've said a lot, when it comes to music distributions and what these platforms can do to improve what they do. That'll be it for now. If you have any questions during any of my lives, post your question in the comment section of the live. I always start with a theme, so you can, while I'm still talking, post the comment, I'll address it, or I'll address it in the next future videos. Also, you can go to old videos and put your questions in the comment section, and follow me, Alfred Presents, on Instagram, on Twitter, also known as X, and the rest of them. So thank you and God bless you.
Say this prayer audibly if you have not given your heart to Jesus Christ. Dear God, I believe in my heart that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came, died, and was raised from the dead to save me. I confess Him, Lord, over my life, and ask you to give me your Holy Spirit to live within me. I receive your Spirit by faith, and thank you for I am now born again. In Jesus' name, amen. If you just prayed that prayer, congratulations, you're now a Christian. Go to alfred.vip and get resources that will help you with your work with God.